The story begins in the year 1947. It was a time when the British still ruled over India. On a dark and ominous night, a British commander, accompanied by his troop of soldiers, was marching through a dense, forbidden jungle. They were trying to find a shortcut to reach their destination quickly. However, an Indian local who was guiding them warned the commander with fear in his eyes. He told them that entering the deeper parts of this jungle was a grave mistake because a terrifying creature known as the beetle lived there. Legend had it that these creatures survived by drinking human blood. But the arrogant British commander did not pay any heed to the warning and ordered his troops to march forward. Suddenly, the path ahead disappeared into darkness. The commander ordered the Indian guide to go ahead and check the route. As the man stepped into the shadows, strange, pale humanoid figures jumped down from the trees and attacked him. These were the beetles. Within moments, the creatures swarmed the entire troop of soldiers, tearing them apart and draining their blood, leaving no survivors. The scene then shifts to the present day, where we meet a young man named Alok. Alok is a social media content creator who makes videos about ghost hunting. One night, while shooting a live video in a graveyard, he tried to stage a fake ghost encounter using a hired actor. But the actor got annoyed and walked away in the middle of the live stream, exposing Alok's fake video to the whole world. Within hours, Alok became a laughingstock, and memes about his failure started trending everywhere. Depressed and desperate to regain his reputation, Alok decides to go on a real adventure. He takes 2 of his friends and goes trekking deep into the jungle. Sitting in the forest, Alok watches the humiliating memes on his phone and feels hopeless. His friends tell him to forget the past and focus on creating something new and authentic. Realizing they are right, Alok stands up, determined to click a breathtaking picture to silence his trolls. He climbs to a high ridge to get the perfect shot. But suddenly, a massive wild bear attacks him. His so-called friends, instead of helping him, run away to save their own lives, leaving Alok alone to face the beast. Terrified, Alok runs deeper into the jungle with the bear chasing him relentlessly. Just when the bear is about to maul him, Alok trips and falls under the giant roots of an ancient tree. He faints from sheer exhaustion and fear. The bear tries to claw through the roots to get to him, but suddenly, something incredible happens. An unseen force grabs the massive bear and throws it away as if it were a toy. The bear, terrified by this superior power, runs away whimpering. We then see a mysterious girl standing there. Her name is Tarka. She possesses supernatural strength. Tarka pulls Alok out from the roots and looks at him with curiosity. Alok opens his eyes for a second, sees her beautiful face, smiles, and faints again. Tarka takes the unconscious Alok to her hideout, which turns out to be the wreckage of an old crashed airplane. She lays him down and uses medicinal herbs to heal his wounds. Being a beetle, she can hear Alok's heartbeat from a distance, a sound that fascinates her. When Alok finally wakes up, he finds himself staring at Tarka. He is instantly mesmerized by her beauty. He thanks her for saving his life and asks for her name. When she says her name is Tarka, Alok finds it unique but beautiful. Tarka warns him that he cannot leave yet because the forest is filled with dangerous creatures like snakes and bears. Since Alok had lost his phone during the chase, he has no way to call for help, so he agrees to stay with her. As night falls, we are introduced to the dark reality of this forest. Inside a hidden cave, a group of beetles brings a captured bear to feed their leader. This leader, an ancient beetle, is furious. He throws the bear carcass away and screams that he wants human blood. This reveals that while the other beetles might control their hunger, their leader is a monster who craves humans. Back at the plane, Alok finds an old pair of headphones and plays some music for Tarka. It seems she has never heard music before and she loves it. They share a romantic moment, bonding over the melody. Tarka brings him fruits and rabbits to eat, but Alok accidentally eats a wild fermented fruit that makes him intoxicated. In his drunken state, he starts flirting with Tarka, calling her a fairy. Tarka smiles and says she is not a human. Alok laughs it off, but suddenly, Tarka's eyes turn red and her fangs extend. She is about to bite Alok's neck, but she stops herself at the last moment and vanishes into the dark. The next morning, Alok wakes up to find Tarka gone. He searches for her, thinking he might have offended her. Instead, he is surrounded by a group of beetles. At first, Alok thinks they are tribal people, but when they bare their fangs and approach him, he realizes they are not human. Just as they are about to attack, Tarka arrives and orders them to stop. She tries to defend Alok, saying he is innocent and doesn't know anything about them. But the beetles ignore her pleas. They knock Alok unconscious and take him to their underground city. When Alok wakes up, he is in a strange, ancient kingdom filled with beetles. Still slightly under the influence of the fruit, Alok fearlessly tries to chat with them, which only annoys the creatures. The beetle commander scolds Tarka for breaking their most sacred law, bringing a human into their world. He orders Alok to be thrown into the cursed cave. Inside the cave, Alok meets a terrifying figure chained to the walls. This is Samrat, the original leader of the beetles. He has been imprisoned for years because he broke the law by drinking human blood. Samrat looks at Alok with hungry eyes, waiting to devour him. Just as Samrat attacks, Tarka jumps in and saves Alok again. They run for their lives, chased by the entire beetle army. They reach a high cliff overlooking a highway. Tarka tells Alok to jump onto a passing truck to save himself. But Alok refuses to leave without her. He grabs her hand and says, "I don't want to live without you." Moved by his love, Tarka jumps with him. They land on a truck and escape the forest, eventually reaching Alok's city home. At Alok's house, his parents are performing his funeral rites, thinking he is dead. When Alok walks in alive, his mother is overjoyed, but his father is suspicious. He thinks this might be an imposter trying to steal his property. After a funny interrogation where Alok proves his identity, his father finally accepts him. Alok introduces Tarka as the girl who saved him from the bear. However, living in the human world proves difficult for Tarka. During dinner, she struggles to eat human food. When she sneezes, the glass in her hand shatters due to her supernatural strength, shocking everyone. Alok manages to cover for her, taking her to his room. Later that night, Alok's father sees a shadowy figure jumping on the trees outside. He is terrified, but Alok's mother dismisses it as a hallucination. Meanwhile, Alok wakes up to find Tarka missing. He looks out the window and sees her trying to hunt the neighbor's dog. He rushes down and stops her just in time. Tarka innocent looks at the dog and says it looks delicious, like a rabbit. Alok is horrified, but gently explains that she cannot eat pets. The next day, Alok goes to his office, where his colleagues are shocked to see him alive. He happily talks about Tarka, completely in love. In the evening, Alok takes Tarka to a club to experience city life. Tarka looks stunning in a modern dress. However, she mistakes alcohol for blood and drinks too much, becoming losing control. She starts dancing wildly with other men. Alok, jealous and worried, drags her away. On the way back, some goons from the club follow them and block their car, angry that Alok took the girl away. They start beating with Alok. Seeing Alok in pain, Tarka loses her temper. Her eyes turn red, her fangs come out, and she attacks the goons with brutal force. She beats them up and is about to drain one guy's blood when Alok stops her. Terrified by her true form, Alok drives her home in silence. Back in their room, Alok confronts her. Tarka finally reveals the truth. She is a beetle, a creature that lives on blood. She explains that centuries ago, the goddess created them to destroy a demon named Rakhtebij. But after the war, they were forbidden from drinking human blood. Her ancestor, Samrat, broke this rule and was imprisoned. Tarka admits she is dangerous, but she loves him. Suddenly, the doorbell rings. It is Inspector Alam, who reveals himself to be a beetle living in disguise among humans. He warns Tarka that by being here, she is endangering Alok and his family. The ancient laws are strict. If the beetle world finds out, they will kill Alok. Tarka realizes she must leave to save Alok. Heartbroken, she says goodbye and boards a bus back to the forest. Alok, unable to bear the separation, chases the bus in his car. In his desperation, he drives recklessly and meets with a terrible accident. Tarka senses it and rushes to him. She pulls his broken body from the wreckage, but it is too late. Alok is dying. The doctors declare him dead, but Tarka refuses to let him go. In a moment of sacrifice, she bites Alok and feeds him her blood. This act breaks the ultimate law but saves Alok's life by turning him into a beetle. Alok wakes up in the morgue, his wounds healed, but his heartbeat gone. He is horrified to see his new form. He is no longer human. Meanwhile, in the beetle kingdom, the chains binding Samrat break open. Since Tarka broke the law by creating a new beetle, the punishment is transferred to her, and Samrat is released. Samrat, now free after decades, vows to enslave humanity. Alok eventually accepts his new reality. He trains with Tarka to control his powers. But soon, Samrat's soldiers come to arrest Tarka. Alok tries to stop them, but according to the law, Tarka must surrender. She is taken away to be imprisoned in the dark cave for 100 years. Alok is devastated but determined. He goes to his father and reveals his true form. His father faints, but later tries to find a cure. He takes Alok to a mystic, hinted to be from the Stree universe, who says there is no cure. Alok realizes he must fight for his love. He marches to the Beetle Kingdom. He challenges Samrat, demanding Tarka's release. Samrat laughs and orders his army to attack. But Alok fights back with incredible power. The battle comes down to Alok versus Samrat. Samrat is stronger and nearly kills Alok. But just as Alok is about to die, he hears Tarka's voice. His love for her triggers a miracle. His heart starts beating again. A beetle with a beating heart is the prophesied true king. Alok rises with immense power, his eyes glowing. He thrashes Samrat and defeats him effortlessly. The beetles bow down to him. Alok becomes the new ruler and frees Tarka. He declares that their purpose is to protect humans, not eat them. However, the story ends with a dark twist. Samrat's body disappears from the cave. It is revealed that the Sarkata, headless ghost, and the Badia, werewolf, are gathering. A great war is coming, and Alok must be ready to defend both the human and supernatural worlds.